Welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, welcome. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. So just so you know, you all are coming in muted, and we will remute you at a future time during the presentation. And
Hey, Linda.
Also, your cameras are, for the most part, not on. We'd love you to turn them on if you're willing. It's more fun for us that way. And we're just going to wait, let's call it another minute to let some stragglers come in, and then we'll get started. So say those hellos.
Yay, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Linda. Happy Saturday.
I don't know what day it is ever anymore. So yes, happy Saturday. And if you want to put in the chat where you're joining us from, that's always really fun too. We've had people from all over the country and the world. We've had Singapore and Israel and the Netherlands and Germany and Hawaii and literally all across the country. It's really exciting. And we all get to spend some time together here.
Hi, Lisa, who I've been emailing with.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Happy to see you here, sort of.
I just put my video on. So yeah.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
I saw you and I figured I'd connect. It would be very easy.
Love it. Camp girls.
Oh, really? That's...
We didn't know each other from there, but my son, I think, was there at the same time you were there. Yeah. But we've been talking about my little You're Never Alone, extending it from 3 girls to 4 girls for a group of 4 sisters.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I think we should get started so we can be respectful of everybody's time. What are we oohing?
Calgary. Hello, welcome from Calgary.
So again, we do love seeing your faces. So if you are willing to turn your cameras on, we'd love that. And you can do that if you're on a computer at the bottom of your screen. If not, we understand. And also when you're at the bottom of your screen, you can see the chat as well. If you want to open up your chat box and keep talking with us, let us know what you're loving, or if you have questions or any of that, and we will do our best to get them answered for you. Do want to let you know if we have any technical difficulties that there's a chance the event could end abruptly, and at that point you would go to artpartycentral.org and there'd be a red box at the top and you would just click that and we'd join a new party. Doesn't happen often. We just want you to know what to do, heaven forbid. And now that all that technical stuff is out of the way, we do like to celebrate being all together from across the world, and like to start our parties with a little bit of a cheers. So happy Saturday. Cheers to all of you. Welcome. And
cheers.
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 So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Laura Candell, and I'm excited to be your host today. It's been a while since I've hosted, so shaking off those virtual presentation nerves. I come to Art Party Central from the contemporary craft show world, where I produced fine craft and art shows for almost 17 years. And I also now have a craft and design blog on Instagram called Modern Handmade Design. Check it out. And even for me, being at these parties is always a chance to meet new makers and find out about the ones I already know, find out more about them, which I do every single party. It's unbelievable to me. I am lucky to have Nora Swan with me from Swan&Stone Millinery. She's one of the Art Party Central co-founders, and she is helping me as a co-host today. You can find her as admin in the chat. So if you need anything during the party, you can reach out to her privately or just chat in the chat box, and either she or somebody else will get back to you. So enough about me. Today, we are joined by 6 super talented artists. We have NPR from Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry, Suzanne Schwartz from Suzanne Schwartz Jewelry, Carol Heisler from Lorac Design. It's her first party with us. Welcome, Carol. Jill Schwartz from Elements Jill Schwartz, Karla Gudeon from Karla Gudeon Art and Design, and Shana Kroiz from Shana Kroiz Jewelry. And NPR, Meghan, and Karla are also Art Party Central founders. So we're lucky to have them here. Let me tell you how this whole party thing works. Each of the artists gives a presentation, and then if time allows, I'll ask them 1 or 2 questions that were previously submitted. And at the end of the party, we'll raffle off one $50 gift certificate for each of the artist websites. So that's 6 chances to win just for hanging out with us today. You do have to be present to win, so stick around till the end of the party. At that point, we will also give you all a special discount code, which will be good for all of the artist websites, as well as Swan&Stone Millinery's website, our co-host today. I don't sell anything, so I can't give you a discount off of it. And at the end of the party, we'll open it up for some chatting and invite you to unmute yourselves and mingle for a short sort of, we call it after party. So let's get to the fun stuff. Our first artist today is Meghan Patrice Riley. Meghan, take it away.
Oh, hello. Hi. Welcome, you guys. Happy Saturday. It is really a pleasure to be here and share a little bit of art with you today. See a little bit there. My name is NPR, Meghan Patrice Riley. Welcome to my Brooklyn studio. I brought a bunch of fun stuff for us to play with. I've been doing a lot of these parties, so I brought some I teased about it last time, but I brought a little bit more of these kind of special pieces I've been working on. So I make contemporary art jewelry, which is kind of ambiguous. So I was trained to do goldsmithing and metalsmithing, but I bring in a lot of non-traditional materials into my work and play with them and experiment and kind of blend. I always think I'm blending like high and low together, as well as fine and unfine. So I brought like some new gemstone pieces as well as some new bigger pieces. So I put up some new aquamarines. What I'm doing is I'm bringing in a lot of steel cable into my pieces with sterling and different like little gemstones. What happens is it makes pieces really strong and light, and I get to play and almost draw in space, which I'm really loving. It starts kind of like with this. I brought some really fun things. It starts with this really big cable. It's kind of like the impetus or the origin of everything. It's a cable that I found about, well, many, like when I was 7, actually. My mom and I were making jewelry, and I experimented, and we were playing with how to string really heavy glass beads, which was kind of in the 80s, like really popular. And they would use almost like the backs of picture frames, that kind of like, if you've hung up, they use that kind of like cable, like a braided wire that's really strong, but also flexible. So this is what this is. It's a steel cable that's braided many, many, many little strands, all broken down together. It has a nylon coating on it, so it holds all the braid together. But what happens with all of these elements like coming together and blending, you have the cable being braided and broken down into little micro elements, and then the coating over it makes things really, really strong and flexible. What I'm able to do is get different color cables. So I get this is like my brand new thing I just found. I found this more like hot pinks and reds, and then yellow golds, gunmetals, and these soft metal colors that I can bring in and translate from this larger cable into a much, much smaller, fine jewelry size. This one is actually one of my classic pieces where I started really translating that larger idea into this really fine element. This is 24 karat yellow gold over that steel cable, braided in the miniature. That's 49 little strands braided. This is like the best necklace, but it has that strength and flexibility still. Here I blended and hand finish each ring with a little bit of 14 karat gold fill. That's like a little rivet that's holding everything together. And then I set freshwater pearls on it. So it's this blending of like the high and low again, those freshwater pearls that are all organic and really speak to traditional jewelry elements with this really I would say, forward-thinking industrial material. So I got this bigger cable, and I was using it, actually, I got it because I was like really fascinated with trying to visually explain all of the miniature details that I'm doing here, which is sometimes hard to see, that every little silver bit is being placed by hand and set, and it's hard to see the grain of the cable. So what I started doing is making larger versions, and people responded to them so well. So I built a whole collection for you. It's in the Maxi Cable collection I just uploaded on my website. This is the same as those little sterling silver bits holding everything together, but in very large form and in super fun neon colors. And they still have that flexibility and strength. And even though they have this, they read really large and bold, they're extremely light too. So everything has this lightness. This is with aluminum connectors here. So those are light as well. They're not that heavy, steel or silver, which would weigh it down. And I form them. This is one piece of cable that I create. I'm doing lots of mathematical patterns. Everything's one piece woven back on itself. And I do that all the time in here. And these rings are all one piece of cable woven back on itself over and over to create these larger sculptural and really strong structures. It's math and art together, very STEAM, which I'm really loving. So these are some of the new big ones that I think were going to be education tools, but then really flourished in this whole other collection that I'm just loving. So they're kind of sculptural, they read really big. This led me to think about doing really, really big pieces. So I brought my new biggest experiment. This is the cape. I was trying to make something much larger that would almost be like a line drawing over your clothes that you could wear. Ooh. This goes over, it has all of those little elements happening that I was showing in the silver, but in the larger cable, and everything is connected to be formed in different, to move. So when you move, the whole piece moves. Because of course I tangled horribly in my studio move, or my studio clean. Okay,
What's
it's actually
amazing about it is that you just did all of that and it just came right back.
Yeah, it's because of the way it's the material working together with how I'm physically creating the structures. That's why the rings are all interlocking. They make chains. They flow correctly over different body types that way.
Absolutely.
You have more questions, Laura?
I do actually. I just saw that you launched a new March line for March babies.
Yes.
Can you show us some of that?
Yes, I did. I kind of teased over here. This is one of the new pieces. This is the Springs collar necklace with aquamarines. So I do things in series. So I did a series of aquamarine pieces, and everything I'm wearing. This is the flow necklace with chunks of aqua. This kind of fits more like a bib. Then I did a bunch of new hoop earrings. These are great. These are, I think, very sculptural as well, but they have that traditional metalsmithing. This is a sterling silver hoop that we hand fabricate. So this is wrapped around sterling silver wire, wrapped around a wooden dowel, soldered with a little bit smaller. And then I rivet on the cable, basically like draw with it, and then set aquamarines on there. They just feel like they don't move as much as my other pieces, but with the design, I feel like they have a movement. They feel like movement's happening in them.
Absolutely.
I know, I'm like, more things. I made bracelets. So I actually brought bracelets.
You did? Yes. I was going to ask you about your magnets, about your clasp, but you're about to do that right there. So that has a magnet clasp, right? To make it easy to put on, take off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything I do has like a sterling silver or 14 karat gold filled magnet clasp. When I set them with little quartz crystals there, so that you have a little pull point, it also just finishes the piece, and I think in a clean way, and it just elevates. These are really, really strong neodymium rare earth magnets, which means that they can be this little but hold the whole piece together I love how these aquas turned out.
So cute.
They're so I know it's little, so
They're so cute.
every little chain we do, we like make, it's like boop boop by hand and then set with pliers, those little sterling silver bits on. It is pure joy, but it is definitely like, it feels like knitting and textiles and metal all at the same time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing us these 2 new lines.
Super
I love
fun.
when we get sneak peeks and launches and things here.
Yeah, try stuff on.
Thanks, love. We're going to send it over to Suzanne.
Hi, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Megan, I love the maxi line. And of course the other one, all the new pieces as well, but wow, what will you think of next? So my jewelry is also textile inspired. The most distinctive part about my jewelry is that the majority of it, whoops, where's my paper? The majority of it is stitched. So I use fine silver or 22 karat gold wire to stitch my pieces. So I'll drill little holes and then I'm turning it over. And then you can see I'll sew it through and make different patterns. So this is a fine silver piece right here, one of my signature necklaces. And then I also do that in bright silver. And then here you can see this is a piece from the Torn collection that I've stitched with 22 karat gold. And I love using the lines as texture. Even so here, you know, the texture is going across. And then here you can see this this is 18 karat gold, this chain. I've also taken the wire and I've made it so that it has more of a flow to it than just straight across. This piece is all Argentium silver with 22 karat gold. So that's my stitching. And then I also have another line, which is all, which is all pearls. And I'll use either Tahitian pearls or Chinese freshwater Baroque pearls. And I am absolutely fascinated with pearls and love their organic shape. So this is, you know, to show you the Tahitian pearl necklace. I also do it with white Chinese freshwater Baroque pearls. And this is adjustable in back as well. I like a lot of my pieces to really be adjustable and work in different ways. I also like my collections to cross with each other. So right here, I'm wearing this torn piece with this earring, which is stitched with 22 karat gold in a circular motion design pattern. And you can see the back right there. But then equally, this piece could work with this earring right here. So this earring is from the Circle collection, and it's oxidized silver and then gold, but I also do this in other color combinations. And then this earring also comes apart, so you can wear just the small circles separately. And then I also sell it separately. Could also put with a necklace like this. This is from another collection here, the Stitch collection, and just a simple kind of small earring that, you know, works and complements each piece. So I wanted to show you, just in talking about earrings and necklaces that are adjustable. This is my layered collection earring. And this piece is made out of 3 different layers that come apart. And you can do this in different color combinations. I also have it with gold. And then if you take the back off, this comes apart into 3 separate pieces. And you can make 4 earrings with it. So you can make just the 2. You can also buy it with just the 2. You can wear the single by itself, or the 3, of course, as I started, or just a black earring. And it's just great earring. This one is oxidized, bright silver oxidized. And most of my, but I also do it in other colors. I'm gonna turn my camera around and just show you some more of the jewelry. Just bear with me for a sec. So, here you can see that's the earring I just showed you. And then I also do it with a gold layer right there. And just adds just a little bit more of an element. More from the circle collection, or just, kind of simple earrings. And then I like to combine them and put them together. Hoop earring, this is a big one, but I also make a small version. And then also I'll make it with a gold little top, little simple hanging earring, also available in other colors. And then along with the layered collection, have some more squares. Here's like a fun new ear wire that I just did, and some different necklaces that go with them. This one I also do with a little gold button, gold bottom as well. And I'm just going to scan up the torn collection. Another big piece, a little tiny earring, which is unusual for me. And then also I took all these squares and I wanted to make them into clusters. So this is a cluster necklace of Argentine silver and 22 karat gold. Argentine silver is, I'm going to show you an earring as well. And each one of these squares I make and I stitch. And Argentine silver is a highly tarnish resistant silver. So it's a little brighter white in color. Here's some gold stitching. And it keeps its color. It doesn't tarnish easily at all. This is the earring that really is the partner to the necklace. And you can see I do it in two sizes, smaller and larger. I always like big earring and then kind of scale down. And this is part of the freeform collection. So this one I did put some 18 karat gold in, but I also do pieces in all silver. You can see the bracelet. And this looks like it was just kind of haphazardly stitched, but really, I really think about where I put those lines, and sometimes I'll get them in and I'll decide I don't like how the pattern is and I'll pull it all out. This is the square collection, just I'm almost wrapping up here. So the square collection, and here I really love playing with the shapes. So I've cut out little pieces of 22 karat gold and placed them on squares and then kind of juxtapose them with other squares. And then there's the stitching for just more interest. And here it is in bright silver as well. And some of the earrings that go with it. Show you some of the pearls that I have. This is actually a one-of-a-kind piece that I did. Usually I'll put the gold in with the pearls, but here I made one with all dark silver, oxidized silver, and put it with some lavender pearls.
That's
and
a
then
beauty,
the
Dawn.
earrings.
Really gorgeous. Such a tour we just had. So much so that we've run out of time for questions.
Okay.
But I did write down a couple of questions from the chat, and we'll get to them at the after party. I do like this. Jan just wrote, perhaps we'll see it worn by the celebs at the Academy Awards. That would be really, really
yes,
fun.
that would be really nice.
Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Really amazing.
We're going to send it over to Carol.
Hi, everyone. My name's Carol Heisler Lawson, and I am the sole sewist, designer, creator at Lorac Designs. I'm thrilled to be here today. Thank you, Art Party Central girls. Took me a while to get on board, but here I am. And I am actually in my studio because I wanted everyone to be able to see how I do what I do. On the back wall, I have two of my very large bed quilts. And I'm going to start over here. I'm going to turn my camera on, Suzanne. That was a great tip. Let me do that so I can show everybody. this is my design and cutting and sewing table. And I've got several projects going right now. This piece right here will be the same as that square piece, but the design and coloration will be on the diagonal. And I'm working on a piece over here, this orange and the black and white circles. And these are the parts and components over here that I'll be sewing tomorrow. Okay. And I want to take you over close to the quilts over here. You can't get any idea about their size until I get up close. So this piece is 120 by 120, and there are 4,400 individual pieces in the quilt, and it's a 6-inch block. And this design, this particular quilt is a combination of two of my series that I do. One series is marathoning one block at a time, and that's the pattern that you see, this sort of puzzle piece look. And because I was a long time ago thinking I was running a marathon. And so I was working on this original quilt, the first in the series at that time. So hence the name. Then it's also part of my series called Turning Negatives into Positives, because when I buy my black and white fabrics, I buy them in a negative and positive of each other. And so it's the combination of the two. Now this piece over here has 1,600. They start out as 3-inch squares. They finish to 2.5. It's also very, very large and meant for your bed. And while I'm back here, I'll show you, this is my beast. Once the quilts are the size that you see that they are, I load them onto this table bed and I hand steer this giant sewing machine. And in this case, I'm going to do this pattern. And if you see that red dot of light, I will take that red dot of light and move the machine, tracing the pattern, and it will be quilting over here. Can you see that? Okay, now I'm going to turn myself back around. Oh, that's my thread. Gotta love the thread, right? And I'm going to show you some of the other work that I do. I do small pieces, but I am known for my very oversized contemporary bed quilts. Everything is 100% cotton, meant to be used every day on your bed. Wash it, dry it in the regular washing machine. Animals love it. It's okay. Let them get in the bed with you. The smaller pieces that I do are table runners. Like this piece measures 17 by 50. This is some leftover squares. So this is actually 3 or 4 times the length that you're seeing here. And this would make a great bed runner. You put this at the bottom of your bed. You put a basic, gray matelassé piece on the bed, and you add that for color. I do like color, and I do like to mix color with black and white. It's one of my standard things that you'll see. I'm all about the little tiny pieces. The more pieces, the better. The more fabric, the better. I work in a lot of boutiques, all hand dyed. Here's another example of a table runner. And then, of course, the baby quilts. Those grandmas, they have to have special things for the babies. I like bright colors because babies don't see pastels, and it's not my child, so they can be very happy and aroused. Again, wash, dry, tumble dry low. I do custom work. I have lots more baby quilts here I could show you, but it's kind of repetitive, lots of great color. This is a sample of something custom that I'm working on now. This is going to be about a 60 by 70 throw. And it's the husband's flannel shirts, and he had passed away. So it's a memory quilt. And she actually lives in my neighborhood. So we're becoming friends. Once I finish this piece for her, she is going to have me do something with her husband's t-shirts. So that's something else I do. Let me find that. So this is one I did. I live outside of Philadelphia. So it is all, do I have it upside down? I do. I have it upside down. Hold on. I did all of our sports teams. This is a sample that I usually take so people understand. The idea behind this is you have your shirts from sports, concerts you've gone to, however, and I make them into a quilt. It's completely washable and usable and gets the t-shirts out of your drawer.
It's genius.
And then
It's genius.
and everyone has t-shirts, right? You went to college, you went, high school things, again, concerts, or you travel to every hard rock in America and you have a shirt from every place you've been.
I mean, my husband and you need to have a conversation. I've got a couple
He might
closets
need
for
more
you.
than one.
Yeah, right. We did have a great question in the chat. So she asked if the size can be customized, or are they only standard?
Absolutely. In fact, the piece, let me do this. This piece that I'm working on with this black and white batik and the pieces over here, this customer saw the original quilt down in Baltimore last year, and she didn't buy it. And she said she did come back and she said, the only regrets I ever have are when I don't buy something. So we are making it for her in a better size anyways. So I scaled down the pattern and she's getting it in like a 90 by 90 size.
Perfect. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
And then one last question for now, and it sort of came up in the chat also. Everybody's, this is the question. How long does it take to make one of the big ones?
So yeah, there's a lot of work in the pieces. And I like I said, I do it by myself. I honestly can't, it is the number one asked question, especially when you see them in person, you see how big they are.
Mhm.
I have never sat down on a Monday morning at 8 o'clock and decided I'm going to start this quilt and I'm going to time how long it takes me to finish. You can see the number of projects that I have going on.
Right.
And what you can't see is what's behind those quilts.
Yeah.
So I would think somewhere between 40, maybe 60 hours a piece. Yeah.
And they really are very large in person. Like,
They
if
are.
you've ever been in Carol's booth at a live show, it's like, they're so big.
And they
Is the
feel
bed
bigger
really
than they
this
really
size?
they feel bigger than they really are. I know what size a bed is.
No,
so,
I know you do.
But when they're up like that, all spread out, they do look a little intimidating.
Yes, and
So,
gorgeous. So,
thank
you
you.
so much,
Thanks.
Carol.
Yeah.
We're going to send it over to Jill now.
Hello, how are you? You hear
We
me?
can hear you, Jill. You're good.
Oh, great. Hi, I'm Jill Schwartz. I'm from Great Barrington, Massachusetts. My company is the Elements Jill Schwartz. This is my second time here, and actually my second virtual event. I see myself really as a collector, a collager, and a maximalist. Seems the theme today is about textiles. I adore textiles. I adore old ribbons, millinery, both vintage and new. My parts I've collected for years and years. I also have a background in graphic design. And so I like to bring in graphics. I'm going to show you one of my favorite pieces first. I love vintage illustration. Can you see that? And so what I've done here is taken a vintage illustration and worked it into a whole piece with the eyelashes in metal and the rhinestones. But using the vintage image gives my work the quality of a vintage. Everything feels, it goes into the vintage area, which I'm known for. And as I said before, there's a lot of different kinds of vintage if you've tuned into things before with me. Um, here's like, I'm using embroidery and I'm using beads. There's wood. So you can see that it's all about the combination. And it doesn't really matter to me whether it's modern, like new or old. It's about how it works together. And I am showing you another bracelet that is filled. Can you see that? There's a little piece from India that we've collected and embellished, and then these glass beads. And it's all about the combinations. There's a Bakelite piece and also these Japanese vintage parts. So I'm about texture. I'm going to show you a brand new piece that I am totally loving. Oops. Oh, sorry about that. And that is the lover's eye. And I tend to use an image over and over. It's a lover's eye with pearls. And the lover's eye started in the 1700s when King George was trying to get this Catholic single woman. I think he was divorced, and he wanted her to fall in love with him. And they were communicating for years. And he had his eye painted and sent to her. And there's not that many in the world, but there's a lot of people who are doing eyes, including me, but I love that. So there's that. I also tend to use the bird. So here's a metal bird, and there's sequins and semi-precious coral, and it's a conglomeration of just different things. And color, I love color. This is very interesting. This is a textile piece. It's a felted flower, which is the big one. And then there's a big semi-precious piece on the inside, and millinery flowers with pearls that we set into them, and a big contemporary ring in the middle there with glass beads. And then the hoop there is wrapped in a beautiful kimono fabric ribbon, and we've wrapped that around. And then there's some embroidery, if you can see that, and a gold ball or silver ball and velvet. And the beauty of a lot of the necklaces is that you can make them short and long. So if you feel like wearing them long, you have a lot of adaptability. So that's that. The other thing I do with vintage is that I can make it look very contemporary. So you see that there's in the two middle ones are some of the newest pieces, and they're a little more modern vintage. And then with the charms and the images, so you can see that I have a whole lot of different looks within my jewelry.
It's a very diverse. Go ahead. You want to show a ring?
Why, thank you. Yeah, with the pandemic, I'm finding that people, and I showed you these before, are wearing smaller earrings. So I'm doing these sets, and they're selling just beautifully. And there's a lot of different sets. There's pearls, there's mid-century, but I always try and mix the materials, as you can see.
Yeah, so many textures, so many different textures in all the different pieces. It's really fun.
Thank you. Here is a brand new set of hair accessories. So you see there's the eye again. And there's a lot of eye shapes in it. There's the eye with the flower, and then there's the, if you could see, the Japanese vintage carving is in the top. And then like a more modern oval. But
So it sounds to me like maybe the favorite part of your business is potentially finding all of these treats to put together.
I think that is exactly the whole reason I do what I do, is it's the combining of all the materials and finding them. I used to go antiquing with my mom, and it's like a little treasure hunt, and then falling in love with all the pieces is just, it's really why I do what I do. But yeah.
And the care and the time and the love, it does show. I mean, there's so many different elements in that big necklace you showed with the wire wrapping and there's just so many different techniques in each piece too, which is really
Well, it's how it fits together and like how you're gonna make it work. And within that, there's a lot of techniques.
Absolutely. Well, it's really fun to see. And we're glad you're here. So
Thank
thanks
you.
for joining us. And we're gonna send it over to Karla.
Who actually remembered to unmute. Yay, 2 times in a row now.
So proud.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karla from Karla Gudeon Art and Design, and thrilled to be a founding member and here with Art Party Central, wearing my fabulous, fabulous, fabulous Beyond shoulder sweeper earrings by the amazing NPR. And usually I start with a little background that explains the technique, but I'm going to kind of jump ahead in my personal story, or actually jump way back. But before I do, I also want to say, because this was unplanned, how much I love when artists' sensibilities tie into each other. And I just love that Jill was here a second ago talking about eyes, and the piece I chose to put front and center today was my hamsa with the eye in the center. And one of the reasons I love hamsas so much is that they cross cultural divides. They remind me that people have more in common than they don't. In Judaism, they call it a hamsa. In Islam, they call it the hand of Fatima. And in Turkey and Greece, they call it the hand of God. But no matter what the culture, it always means you're protected from evil. You're protected from the evil eye. The hand is stopping the eye from getting to you. So, and it's also could be interpreted the other way as a watchful eye of strength. So the eye can be either good or bad, but either way, the over-encompassing idea of the hand is for protection. And I just love the meaning behind that. So I do my hamsas in different sizes in the collection. They're all original watercolors over engravings. So I start with metal, make a limited edition for my larger pieces, and then hand paint each one. So even though they're part of a series, no two come out exactly the same. It's kind of an oxymoron, but they're one of a kind prints. But back to this backstory I was promising you is, according to my Jewish cultural tradition, parents name the child after somebody they love who passed, and they take the first letter from that name. So I was named after my great-grandmother, Katie, and my parents were stuck for a K name they could agree on. They didn't agree on much. They ultimately got divorced, but they were stuck until they went into a bookstore, into the children's section, and found books by the author illustrator Karla. And that's how they chose my name. So ironically, I became an artist. I majored in illustration in college at Parsons School of Design. When I left school, I didn't know what to do with myself. So I never went into illustration. And then I developed this line and fell in love with my hand-colored etchings and kind of put the idea of illustration in the background until the owner of a small publisher that was a division of Chronicle Books at the time, later a division of Random House, found me at a gallery in Cape Cod and said, I have a book for you to do. So I always like Art Party is a really great opportunity for me to show things that I would never bring to a physical craft show with me. So I just thought with the Jewish holiday of Passover coming up, not all my books are Jewish, some are secular, but with Passover coming up, I'd show this book that I illustrated called Passover Celebrating Now, Remembering Then. And what I wanted to show you is probably why I stick to my collection and not books is how much time it takes in terms of being able to earn a living from it. Because in this book, each page folds out to a double spread. So it was a tremendous undertaking. And I thought, because I never really get to do this and they're not in frames, I'd pull out some of the original paintings that went into the book so you could see the scope and the size. And this is part of the 10 plagues. This is Lotus. So again, I do this a lot. If anybody is interested in one of these original watercolors, you can contact me for a private, Zoom or FaceTime or via my website. It's certainly not up there. But if the darker kind of, taking some fun in darker themes strikes you, I'm showing you today the Lotus panel from the Passover book. And I'm also showing, oops, it's upside down. We've got the Angel of Death for your viewing pleasure. But I do think it's a beautiful piece, and I wanted you to see the scope that goes into doing a book illustration. And then because, some people say it doesn't, and I like to think artistic talent runs in families. And usually I spend the whole time tooting my own horn. I do have to say my brother's on this Zoom, and I think he is the most remarkable children's book author, illustrator in the family. And just so you could see siblings having completely different styles, this is one of Adam Gudeon's books. Hi, Adam. So I thought I'd share that. And then also wanted to bring into the idea with the holidays coming up, again, this idea of spring and changing the art to make you feel good. And so I thought I'd show some of my favorite themes that I like to do in the hand colored engraving. So we have the Tree of Life. And I like exploring the same thing, like Jill was saying, she likes exploring similar themes over and over. So do I. So I like seeing what I could do with it horizontal or vertical. And the funny thing to me is while they have the same elements, they have the roots, the twisty bark, birds, pomegranates. To me, they have completely different moods. My horizontal ones, when I draw a horizontal tree, they always come out happy, but somehow peaceful, serene, a little quieter. And I feel that when I design a vertical tree, it's more exuberant. It's jumping for joy. So depending on what you need in your home and what you like to surround yourself. And I wish I could tell you why I think it happens that way, but I'm not really sure. I have other pieces to show her. I could take questions. Laura, how am I doing?
Why don't you show us one more series?
Sure. And again, with that holiday in mind, I'm going to show you these two. This is one from the archives. This is called Song of Life. There's a symbol in Judaism called a chai, which stands for life. And that's the little yellow symbols that the birds are tweeting. So I call this Song of Life. And then pomegranates are also one of my favorite symbols because, again, they figure in many different cultures as symbols of abundance, prosperity. Fertility is the one I don't care about. And this pomegranate topiary, I think, is beautiful for anybody from any culture. I think it shows that lush abundance, which why wouldn't you want that feeling in your home?
And I don't know about the fertility thing. You were just saying, can you buy the baby quilt before there's a baby? So
but not for me.
Not for you, but
Dunzo.
I did have a question about, so I'm Jewish also. And in the past, we're pre-COVID, we'd be going to somebody's house for Passover. And usually I bring a gift with me. What would you recommend for?
But I have to get up on my stool because it's high for me. Hang on. Now I'm sitting on 3 stools and I look like a tall person. I think, if you can't go to someone's house for Passover this year because of COVID, why not send the gift that you would have brought as a hostess gift? And I think a great one is my Italian marble coaster sets. They come in really beautiful gift boxes, sets of 4. They're this great Italian marble. They don't stuff. And some of my favorite sets for a hostess gift would be the set of hamsas. They come in 4 different colors, kind of like pop arty tricked out in, 4 different colors. I also have and I'll do a different also comes in 4 colors. The Ahava set, and Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and the medallion with the Ahava comes in 4 colors in a set. And the 4 seasons, which is one of my favorite themes to paint. So I've also offered that in a beautiful coaster set as a hostess gift. And I also have strong women for those of you that want an empowered women for an empowered woman hostess gift.
Absolutely. That's such a great suggestion. Thank you. And yes, Pam, she does have birds with hats too, but I think that's on Swan&Stone's website. Is that correct?
On both,
It's
actually.
on both.
Yep, but Swan&Stone, go there and look at hats while you look at the birds in the hats.
They're amazing. Well, thank you so much, Karla.
Thank you, Laura.
Are gonna send it over to our final artist of the day. I don't know how that happened. Shana.
Hey everyone. Oh God, it's so good to be here again. I love doing these. I get all dressed up and excited for the event. So I did the same thing today. So today, this is I think my 4th art party, and I have a lot of work and I've covered so many different things, but today I want to go to sort of my foundational work, which are my earrings, because they're the pieces that everybody has and everybody loves. And I have so many options that I thought it'd be good just to focus on them today. I'm going to start with the earring that got me into doing craft shows. I've been an artist for over 30 years and I've been making jewelry for over 30 years. And about 13 years ago, I came up with this design. This is actually the original shape. It's a double-sided 2-part earring that pulls apart, and the front goes, the front goes in and then it comes to the back. And this earring has become really the timeless design piece that I do. I do it in all scale, all sizes. I have lots of different, very ornate to very minimal designs. The thing that has been so, I think, tremendous, and the reason why I've been able to have one type of thing that's lasted, the last 11 years, and I don't imagine that I'll ever stop making these earrings, is that they are very lightweight, really easy to wear. I know I've got some ladies on here who actually own them, and they can tell you how comfortable they are. They're also versatile. A lot of these earrings you can wear forwards and backwards. So this earring particularly, I'll put one. And everything I'm showing you really large scale because it's easy to see on Zoom. But I do everything scaled down to quite to very small design. So this earring is facing one direction. And then if I flip it around, we come in from behind, and same earring, completely different kind of look. So I have the double-sided earrings. I really, I have so many different styles. I also do everything in, now I've been adding color to my work. So a lot of my pieces I will do with a whole range of colors, which I'm about to show you. So please look at the double-sided earrings, but I don't want you to think that that's all I do. I have many of my 3-dimensional sculptural button earrings. All of my work is very dimensional. So an earring like this, you're really going to see it when you're wearing it from all angles. It's really going to have a nice pop and a lot of dimension to it. But because of the technique that I use, which is called electroforming, which is where I actually grow the metal over the form, my pieces are hollow, so they're all really lightweight. Now I want to talk with you about color, because I absolutely, if you follow me and you know my work, you'll know that I'm definitely a colorist, and that's a big part of my energy and the way I feel. So these are all, this is all newer work from a newer line. I call these my elongated crescent pod series. I do these in, I guess we'll do orange. I'll show you orange. I do them, it's an enamel material, and I'm fusing 24 karat gold. I also can do it with fine silver onto onto the surface of the earrings. Again, they're very lightweight, stunning to wear, easy. And they can go from day to night. They can look really, you know, I don't say they're casual, but then they can be super elegant at the same time. So this is the one in orange, and I do them in sterling silver, 18 karat vermeil. I have all the colors I showed you, as well as this beautiful red, which is a transparent red with either sterling or 18 karat posts. And so just to get a sense of the range and color that I'm working with, almost all of my earrings that I'm showing today are electroformed, and I do them in sterling silver, 18 karat vermeil, the colored enamels, and I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then I wanted to talk with you about, I really wanted to come up with a line that had the feeling of my work, but was something you could gift to other people, that was so, you know, everything was at a sort of a lower price point. So this is my plainer line, and these earrings are flat, which is really quite unusual for me, but I hope you see that they have as much sculptural appeal as my three-dimensional pieces. So and I just felt like this would be a great way to get, I don't have the back on it, so hopefully you can see. So these earrings are a great way to get my bold forms and shapes, but because they take me less time, they're something that become great gifts for other people, even for yourself, for traveling, if you don't want to have a higher end earring with you. And then I have them in another tray. Lots of different patterns and colors. And I have to tell you all, I do a lot of customizing. So a lot of times you'll see something and you'll want it in a specific color. I'm happy to do that for you. I do, these are really fun. They're in the black and gold and the white and gold, but I do them in any color combination, and I'm always happy to work with you on these. This linear spiral line, this has just been a great, simple, everyday earring. My ladies love this earring. And it's, you know, it's simpler and smaller, but it's a great everyday, all the time, ready to go earring. How am I doing on time? I always run.
You're doing good. I was actually going to ask you a question though about the double-sided earrings.
Please.
Can they be worn backwards?
Oh yes, definitely. Just take almost every pair looks great either way. I particularly like the ones that are, say, shorter in the front and longer in the back, because you really get a big difference when you switch them from front to back. My scroll design, which is, this is a extra large swoop, but I have a scroll design, which is, now I can't seem to find, but they really look great backwards and forwards as well.
For those little that you had the half, oh, never mind, go ahead.
So I just have to, I can't leave without giving this earring some attention. This guy always gets, you know how like there's something that doesn't get noticed because everyone's so excited about my double-sided earring, but this earring is so fantastic. It's the arabesque at the bottom with one of my sort of flower tops. And I think it's really sexy and fun to wear.
It is. That's a statement piece. I mean, you wear a little black dress and that, you're good.
Yeah.
Good to
and
go.
I do it, and I do have, oh no, it's all falling over. There was a pair there, but they fell off. I do have I scaled down to a much smaller size. So everything I do, I try to scale up and down.
Small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And
yeah, thank you.
I love that we got to focus on the earrings, because there's such a great, like just, there's so many and they're so beautiful.
Thank you. And if you keep coming back to these art parties, you'll see I have just so much work.
Yeah,
and so
I can't wait to see the next batch. Thanks so much, Shana.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
And thank you to, oh, I'm sorry, I'm fuzzy. My camera's miserable. So thank you so much to all the artists for sharing their stories and showing us their incredible work. We also want to thank all of you for coming to be with us today. So before we get to the raffle prizes, you are the reason that the artists make their work, and you are what inspires them and helps them to continue to come up with new and different and interesting work. So you being here is more than you know important to all of us. So thank you so much for being here. And we really love having this platform to connect with all of you, and can't wait to see it grow with everybody's help. So keep telling your friends and following and liking and sharing on social media. And thanks just so much. You know, we want to celebrate you too. So we want to get to those gift certificates. I have been sent the list. I'm going to do something here quickly. I'm not going away. I'm just fixing my camera. Ah, there I am. I'm less fuzzy now. Welcome back. I am going to pull the winners of the raffle now. You're welcome to unmute and help us to celebrate the people that win. And for those that do win, we ask that you put your email address in the chat. You can either send that to the admin or just put it right in the chat in general, or you can send it to me, whatever works for you. And that's how we will get you your gift certificate. So make sure to do that. So without further ado, let's give away some gift certificates. Our first gift certificate tonight is for Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry, and the winner there, we've pulled these randomly from everybody who's still on, is, oh, I'm going to butcher some names today, Nancy Nalbandian. Congratulations, Nancy. Our next gift certificate goes for Suzanne Schwartz Jewelry, and the winner there is Rosalind Ginniger.
Yay!
Congratulations, Rosalind. I think my co-host might have chosen all of the difficult last names. So.
Not on purpose.
I'm into it, it's fine. Our third gift certificate is for Lorac Designs, and that goes to Linda Loesch.
Yay!
Congratulations, Linda. Our fourth gift certificate for Elements Jill Schwartz goes to Gail Dovolovsky. Congratulations, Gail.
Hey.
These are all names I don't know, which is fantastic. It means we have lots of new fun people on here too. So welcome, everybody. Our fifth gift certificate for Karla Gudeon Art and Design is for Emily Rithels. Congratulations, Emily. And our final gift certificate for the night for Shana Kroiz Jewelry is going to go to Jenny Kelman. Congratulations, Jenny. And congratulations to all the winners. I'm not noticing any email addresses yet unless they're being sent to the admin. So just a reminder. And because we want everyone to leave feeling like they've won something, we will be giving all of you a 10% code, good for all 6 of the makers' websites, as well as Swan&Stone.com, which is our co-host for the day. The coupon will be good from today through March 19th. So head over to the websites. We'll send an email after the party with all of the links and the coupon code for you to be able to do some retail therapy. Or reminder, Mother's Day is coming, and Passover's coming, and love yourself. Saturday is here. Just making up names of reasons to buy things. And the coupon code for today's party is ARTPARTY MAR19. ARTPARTY MAR19, all capitals. And again, we'll send you an email with all of those details. Next week, we have 2 days of parties, Thursday and Saturday, and they will feature some new and some returning artists that we haven't seen in a while, and some favorites that we get to see often, who always bring us something new and interesting. So we'll have Laura B Designs, Alex Lozier Jewelry, Christine Evans, Natural Soar, Swan&Stone Millinery, Gina Panorfi, Ariel Brackett Jewelry, Vespertine NYC, Francesca Vitali Paper Jewelry, Suchi Pottery, and Jennifer Littman Bruno Design. And you can RSVP for both of those parties at artpartycentral.org, and there will also be links in the email that we send to you. I think that I can speak for all of the artists from today by saying that you all rock for being here. We very much miss seeing you all in person, but this is such a great way to stay connected and be able to all be together from everywhere all at once. We know everybody's busy, so you may leave at any point, but we are going to stay on for just a little while longer to ask questions. And hang out for a little while.
Okay, I want to say that the code really quick is 13.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not 19. Just letting you guys know.
Thank you. That's my fault.
Okay, it's gonna come in the email.
Yes. Art Party MAR13.
You got it both ways in the chat, just so you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, friends.
Agree. I know.
Thank you so much. It's good until March 19th, so my fingers just screwed up on the script, so I apologize for that. But yes, it will be in the email, and hopefully will be correct in there. I will make sure that it is. So at this point, you're welcome to unmute yourselves, and if you have questions, feel free to ask away. And if not, I have some written down.
I have a question for Shana about the necklace she was wearing. That was really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I literally just finished it last night. I was like in this mad dash to get some new pieces done for today, even though I decided not to do anything but earrings, but I did two. And I haven't decided whether to blacken the silver. I usually do a lot of black and gold, but I love this, just the straight silver and gold. So right now they're silver and gold. And then if they don't sell, maybe then I'll turn them into black and gold.
Yeah.
So, and they're actually fun to stack. So I'll try to get them on my website in the next few days.
Also, the bracelet on your right hand is beautiful.
Which
That one. Yes,
that
that's the one I meant.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this is one of my sculptural bracelets. These are all one of a kind, and they have hinges and box clasps. And I do I have the shape I have a mold of, and then I do different details. Some are set with stones. This one has these fun little hinges. And again, please, you should set up a Zoom with me and I can show you lots of amazing bracelets.
Very clever, very clever. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Did anybody else have specific questions, or should I have it my list?
Actually, I wanted to ask Carol, the quilt that she had on the table with the tiny squares looks like it's a work in progress right now. Beautiful colors as usual from, I've seen and owned some of Carol's work, but the one that's right by the sewing machine, that is really cool. What is that going to turn into?
So it's like a 6-inch square with 3-inch squares, all sashed with 1.5-inch sashing. I can go over and give you a little better. Oh, you know what? Here we go. I have from the original design, this bed runner that I showed earlier. Let me see if I can just get you a square. So that's what one square will look like. And then that'll be a 90 by 90 finish size. So this was from the original piece that the customer didn't buy. And so I'm replicating it. It's hard. It will never be exactly like the original because fabrics are like clothing. They go in and out. They make them once and then you can't find them again. So
all those colors pop so much against that black circle pattern. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. Who
Very
am I talking to?
Eileen Doherty.
Oh, hi, Eileen. How are you?
Fine. I love the piece I got from you, but I'm really thinking about a bed skirt. I just think it's such a clever way to dress up the bed without too much fussiness.
Well, now that we've spent a whole year at home and we realize our bedrooms are kind of important, and it's really wonderful to have a major piece that when you walk into your room, it makes the room.
Absolutely. Well, keep up the good work. Your stuff is
Thanks.
awesome.
Thank you.
Any other questions before I ask mine? No? Then I'm gonna jump in, and feel free in between my questions that I've written down from the chat. If you have others, feel free to jump in. I wanted to swing over to Suzanne. June had a question for you in the chat. Let's just get you spotlit here. There you are. She said, can the layered earrings be done not as a stud, but with a wire for the smallest piece and still be able to add pieces to it?
Yes. I actually
Love when
have,
it's a yes.
I'm gonna just
Yes.
exit the screen for a quick second. I actually have a wire. So I'm looking for paper. So this is the ear wire.
Right. Oh,
And that's the large, and then the pieces just hook onto the back. And then there's also another version which is a little smaller, so you can just kind of see the different sizes. And they all work together. So yes, and I also make it as a clip.
Oh.
Yeah,
great. Thank you.
you're welcome.
And if no one else has other questions, I'm gonna swing up to Megan, who had a question in.
Okay.
So it's really just me asking a question because
Thank you.
I was inspired by Karla's earrings. And it made me remember that you've been talking a lot about larger hoops. Do you have some
Yes.
hoops to show us?
Okay, I also want to just highlight that I put this on correctly. So, it does work. Okay. And I am like, I love experimenting with all this. So I have been doing a lot of hoops. I've been doing some crazier ones, and I brought these last time, but I still love them. These larger hoops with kind of like these kinetic.
Ooh.
Wow.
Gemstone-y.
For your body.
I'm obsessed with these. Yes. These and this version as well, which is a little bit more tame, but there's a lot of movement happening. And I love that right now. These are with a latch back, and the little kinetic gemstone collar mobiles come off and can become something else, like a pendant. So I think there's like some options here. I'm really enjoying. This is like, I feel like I'm going to do a whole batch of these because they're so fun to wear and they show up really nice on Zoom, and the movement is great. Every time you wear them, they kind of change, which I think is great, which is fun.
I need that with my asymmetrical cut.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
And I also love I've been wearing really symmetrical, but in my real life, I have 3 and 2. So I encourage people, like, even with Shana's earrings, like, and like Suzanne, we all have options, like wear a big with a small, or you can do it if you have your hair over. Like, I wear my hair on the side a lot like this. I do a part. I'm not Gen Z. So that, like having like maybe one bigger earring over here to wait in terms of styling, having a small earring or 2 small earrings and a big earring, kind of play with that. That's fun.
Yeah, the earrings that you just brought out earlier on the smaller stand, that had sort of the teardrop. Yeah, you almost give us that with the side view. You've got dimension in there as well. So it's almost like wearing multiple earrings at once.
And I would pair a bigger one on this side and then do a smaller teardrop on a hook over here. I would make my own ear story.
Ear story. Oh, I love that. My new hashtag for the moment.
I like thinking about styling, and like when my clients take on their pieces, they really bring a new life to them in how they wear them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for showing us those. Did we have other questions before I keep jumping? If not, I'm going to head over to Jill for a moment, who Suzanne actually asked a question in the chat. She said, are all of your pieces one of a kind?
They aren't. They're actually production pieces. So when I get things, I usually will not make something if I can't make it a few times. I'm starting to get into doing some one of a kinds. And I think that I might do maybe another art party. I'll just show exclusively those.
Ooh.
But mostly production. Thanks for asking.
They look like one of a kinds.
You do.
People like that.
Yeah.
And that they do feel like they are one of a kind. And in a way, I mean, because there's some vintage parts, sometimes I'll change something so they're limited editions because I'll run out of a vintage piece.
Right.
So it becomes more special and more limited edition.
I love that. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you.
And my last question was for Karla, which was, there are not just adults in a house, right? I'm thinking of, you were talking about, fertility before, and that got me thinking about all of my friends who have kids now, and some of them are even, young adults. Do you have things for teens, young adults?
I do, especially because I raised two sons, and it was super important to me that they understand and appreciate art and put a value on things that are handmade and things that are beautiful for their home. And it worked. My 28-year-old just bought his first home with his fiance and are making super thoughtful art decisions, which make me very proud because he's a sports head finance guy otherwise. So I like that, I raised him right. So I have the collection called The Little Ones, which are all hand painted originals. And things like a hamsa in a small size would be great for a teen. This one says peace in Hebrew and Arabic. I think that's great for a teen. Some of the women heroes, especially for a young woman, I have Greta Thunberg, who are climate activists, and I have other women that they might admire. And then the other thing I did, which I'm super proud of this, for like a dorm situation where you might not want to take originals with you, but have something a little nicer than your average poster, is I have, I gotta pick it up. I have my Art Your Way wall hangings, and they're really cool because they hang on these magnetic sticks. And I have a hamsa, a tree of life, and I also have one for young, strong women that says, "Strong women, may we know them, may we raise them, may we know them, may we be them, may we raise them." And the nice thing about this prints on the sticks is you could get a set with the sticks, and then you could buy the prints separately, and they easily change out because the sticks just pull off and they're magnetic.
Genius.
Thank you. I like being told I'm a genius. I might hang around to hear more.
Thank you, Karla. Did anybody have any other questions? If not,
We're going to be back.
yeah, we're going to be back at 5:30 if you didn't get enough. And then again, we'll be back on Thursday and Saturday next week. And we'll get that email out to you right away. I will confirm that the coupon code is correct in there. Thank you again, Megan, for pointing that out.
Well,
And
I put it in my website, so.
I would.
Yes. Thank you so much. We'll see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Great fun.